Good evening. I'm here today to present to you my analysis on the housing prices at the ski resort. My agenda today is to discuss the challenge that was presented to me, my general findings, a more in-depth analysis, the predictors I believe we can use, and my conclusions. First of all, the challenge that was presented was to locate an idea on how to improve the company methods for pricing homes, to develop a model that will predict housing prices. So the data set that was presented was 45 residential properties sold during a recent 12-month period. The data points included the selling price of the property, the number of bedrooms in the house, number of bathrooms, the square footage, miles from the property to the downtown resort area, miles to the base of the ski resort mountain, the lot size in acres, the number of cars that would fit in the garage, years old, how old the house is, and the number of days the house was on the market before it sold. So in general, the average home, based on all these data points, can be described as a selling price of $391,191. The square footage was about 1,900. The age of the property was 22.13 years old. It was on the market for just over 122 days. 3.29 bedrooms, 2.33 bathrooms, a 1.42 car garage, a 12.4 mile trek to the resort, and 13.91 miles to the base of the mountain. And the lot size was just over 2.3 acres. Now, looking at the linear analysis I conducted between the selling price, the dependent variable, and the predictor variables, such as the beds, the baths, square footage, acreage, days on market, things of that nature, some things start to surface here. When looking at the number of beds and what association the number of bedrooms and the selling price has, you will start to see a very strong association. The average home has 3.28 bedrooms. 50% of the homes have between 3 and 4 bedrooms. And again, there is a very strong association between the number of bedrooms and the selling price of the house. So in general, you can expect to see a higher price. According to the analysis, for every bedroom, you can start to see an increase of $77,170. Now, when you look at the number of bathrooms, you're also going to see that strong association presented. The more bathrooms a house has, the higher selling price. So the average home has 2.33 baths. 50% of them have between 2 and 2.5 baths. And the same thing with square footage. The average home has 1,900 square feet. 50% of the homes have between 1,420 to 2,200 square feet. Again, another strong association. As you can see here, the more square footage, the higher the selling price. Now we start to look at also some other interesting statistical analysis here. So when we look at acreage, it's a very interesting scatter plot there. The average home has 2.31 acres. 50% of those homes fall between 0.24 and 0.98 acres. There's a very weak association here. As you can see, that trend line is very flat. There's a weak association between the selling price and the lot size. I really thought that was quite interesting. But when you're, I guess, at a ski resort, you're really not interested in a large lot size. So when you look at also now days on market, again, the average is 122 days. 50% of the homes were on the market from 61.5 to 154 days. Again, there's a weak association here between the selling price and the days on the market. You can see from the scatter plot a number of homes on the market for a long time still got a high price, others a lower price, and those who were on the market short time still got a variety of selling prices. So the data points are all over the place on that one. So there's not a strong association there. Now, when we look at the multivariable regression analysis, it really starts to paint a picture between the selling price and all the variables. If you look at the coefficients, you can see that things such as miles to the resort and miles to the base of the mountain and years old, you're going to start to see a negative relationship there. The others have a positive relationship of varying degrees. Some there's very strong, again, such as the number of baths. Again, some very weak, such as the days on the market. But you can start to see paint a picture of the analysis here and the effect that each of these variables has on the selling price. So when we start to look at which of the variables are the most impactful, we start to look at the analysis of R and R squared values. And the ones that have that demonstrate very strong impact on the selling price are beds, baths, and square footage. As you can see here, beds have an R value of 0.653 and R squared of 0.4560. The number of baths has an R value of 0.8001 and R squared of 0.6402. Square footage has an R value of 0.6970 and R squared of 0.4859. Now, based on the same type of statistics, acreage is the least impactful variable. The R value and R squared value are very low, and this data point should be ignored. The R value is 0.0251 and R squared is 0.0006. So my conclusions that I arrived at through this analysis is it points out the impactful indicators such as beds, baths, and square footage that can help predict housing prices. There are other variables that should be explored to provide a more comprehensive outlook, such as the real estate market as a whole, the ski resort market in the geographical area, what does the competition look like. I think also looking at general economic conditions, maybe weather conditions during this time frame could have had an impact on a number of those variables. I also believe that we need a longer time frame of the data. This only covered a 12-month time frame. I really believe going back further, gathering more historical data can also strengthen this predictive model. So again, beds, baths, square footage is what we should focus on, but we should also gain additional data to drive a more robust predictor model and not just rely on a 12-month time frame for this analysis. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation. If you have any questions, please do let me know. My full report is forthcoming as soon as this presentation has concluded. Thank you.